Hey guys, Bret Contreras here. This is going to be a video on how to improve your stretching. So I've got 3 tips for you. Alright, the first tip is to incorporate 3D stretching. So here's what I mean by this. I'm going to put my leg up on here. Okay, say I'm doing a hamstring stretch. Well, if I just lean in this way, I'm just kind of stretching from one dimension. But I can externally rotate my hip, and then I get a stretch more on the medial hamstrings, okay? And then I can also internally rotate the hamstrings and get more of a stretch on the lateral hamstrings. So you can do this with a lot of different stretches. You can, rotate the joints so you get 3D stretching involved. This is just one of them, but again, turning the foot inwards will stretch more of the lateral hamstrings. Turning the foot outwards will stretch more of the medial. Most people, their lateral hamstrings are more tight. The next tip is to make stretches functional for what you're trying to improve. So like, let's say I want to improve my ankle dorsiflexion mobility. Well, there's a lot of different, you can stretch your calves, but people don't, the part at which people, when they squat down, they have problems like right here when they're down deep. So get down deep in a squat. So watch me, I'll sink down deep, and now I'm going to try to stretch, I'm going to try and get maximum dorsiflexion here. So I will just put my hands on the ground. So I'm in a squat position, I turn, put my hands down, and just kind of lean my body forward like that. And I'm going to lean, shift to that way, go back. Now I'm going to focus on this leg. And again, I'll do kind of 3D stretching. I will go out kind of where I have some varus here, then go straight out over the toe, then maybe even go inwards a little bit. I don't like going into kind of like foot pronation and valgus collapse here, but I do like kind of getting some different angles straight over the foot and kind of out more. And again, I'm trying to just get as much stretch right in here as possible and shift back to this leg. Now, people who can't squat deep might find this problematic, but the point is, this is going to improve my ankle dorsiflexion specific to a squat because I'm in a squat position. I'm deep down in here. Okay, so you can do the same thing if you're, trying to improve your hamstring flexibility for deadlifting. Get in a deadlift position and get that hamstring stretch, Make it specific to the exercise that you're trying to improve your mobility for. And the third tip is to use the pelvis to improve the stretch. Use the pelvis to torque, to put more torque on the stretch. So let me show you what this means. Let's say I put my foot up here. Okay, I sink in and I'm getting a hamstring stretch right now. This is pretty good. Now watch this. I'm going to anterior tilt. So see this? So I'm going to use my pelvis rather than just leaning in more. I'm going to use my pelvis. I'm going to get good posture here. So my chest is up and then anterior tilt. So I'm using the pelvis to increase the stretch on the hamstrings. So my pelvis here is pulling this way, stretching the hamstrings. If I want to do that on the flip side, I can get into like a Bulgarian split squat. I can sink down, and then now I'm stretching my rectus femoris. I like doing this stretch over a curved surface because it matches the contour of the crooks of your front of your ankle joint there. And I'm going to sink down. Okay, and now from here, I'm going to actually posterior tilt. So watch this. I squeeze my glute, and that really, not just squeezing the glute, but can you see how I'm posterior tilting here? Like that, and it increases the stretch here on my rectus femoris. And in my experience, more people have tight rectus femoris than their iliopsoas. So it's a very important muscle to stretch. So again, incorporate 3D stretching, stretch in functional positions to improve what you're trying to gain mobility for, and use the pelvis to increase the effectiveness of the stretch. Thanks for watching.